Hey everyone, Vortex TCG here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you the first gameplay video of myself playing Phoenixmon / Marsmon, and my opponent's going to be playing Armor Rush. They're going to start off with the Vmon. I believe there is no target, so I push up the Birdramon because it's a pretty decent blocker, and I go into the Garudamon for an even bigger blocker to stop their aggression. And so they go into a Flame Dramon. It is bigger than the Garudamon, so I will not block here. So there's a Magma Bomb, so it destroys the Vmon, and then they play the Dual Tamer Davis and Ken. I go into a Egg, which goes into Agumon, and at this point I'm just trying to figure out what level 6 I should play. I go into the Phoenixmon here, and what I decide to do here is I think I swing, if I'm correct. So I swing a security using this, using the Phoenixmon effect. I was a bit unsure about the effects because it says you can activate one of its on deletion. I assume it's inherited as well, so I think here I play a Tamer, which is the Akiho, which allows me to add a vaccine from the top 4 and put the rest at the bottom. And then I've only got one memory essentially, so I just end the turn passing to 1, giving them 2 eventually. Well, at the start of their turn. So the Phoenixmon is 11k, so it is pretty weak as a level 6, but it is what it is. They go into an Ice Wall here, and then they go into Awakening the Golden Lord to go into Magnetic's Antibody. At this point it's quite clear that defending that way is pretty strong. I'm just checking the DP values, so I swing with the Phoenixmon, I get to draw 2 cards, and then I believe they decide to block, so it dies, but then I get to activate all the Phoenixmon effects. I get to play an Akiho here, and then I don't think I have another Tamer here. Maybe I do have another Tamer. I have the other Akiho. I really wish I had the hero right now because the hero would be very nice. So I'm just checking other on deletion effects very quickly, because I still get to play a Digimon from my hand. I play the Birdramon, which allows him to gain security attack +1, and also is able to swing at security this turn because he gains rush. So I swing at the security first with the other Birdramon because I was going to do that misplay. Swing twice into security again, hit 2 Vmons. So applying a lot of pressure for sure. And then I pass the turn by going into BO3, which allows me to add a I can't remember what I added there, but something big for the passing turn. So I think we just did a bit of maths wrong there, maybe, because of the Ice Wall. So I don't know if that changed the turn. Hopefully it didn't, but obviously if it did, not my intention. We just forget about Ice Wall because it wasn't on the field. So small things. Goes into Lydramon, swings the security. I'm going to assume that they wanted to suspend that. I don't think they really cared about that, but they go into Magna to end the turn here. So I unsuspend. They've got a blocker, so I go to the Biomon in Raising, and I'm only at 2 memory, and I'm really lacking memory at this point because it's genuinely slowing me down quite a bit. So not too sure what to do right now. I'm just cycling through all my cards to see if there is an answer. Don't think there really is. So I go into the Bearmon here, which is one of the smaller Digimon that has Raid, but I don't really care about the Raid at this point. It's just pretty much trying to survive, because I got to keep a blocker up essentially, and I've also got to try and build a stack. So I then just go into the Grappleomon to pass the turn, because if I survive this turn, I'm pretty much able to swing for game, I think, next turn. So yeah, they swing at security. I'm just on my phone here just to make sure that, try to check the effect of the Phoenixmon with the inheritals, because I was a little bit unsure at that point. You can see me like on the wiki kind of thing, because I'm just checking this because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to cheat or anything like that, 'cause don't really want to do that. I believe my opponent plays the Davis, but I don't know why. I think they might have not shuffled in there. That was a bit weird. Don't know what happened there. They play Awakening of the Golden Lord to go into the Magna X. Then they unsuspend because I think they activate the effect, but just didn't unsuspend for some reason. So I got a Grappleomon here, so I'm feeling pretty good in my situation, I think. So I go into the Marsmon here to pass to 1, uses Blitz to swing, uses Raid Effect to swing into the Magna X. It does have more DP. I get to trash a security here, which is a Megadeth, which is huge. And then I get to unsuspend and gain memory, depending on how many tamers I have. That goes back into security, which is perfectly fine. It's what it is. But I do get to continue my turn here, which is huge for me. However, I've got to try and win this turn essentially, because otherwise the Magna's gonna do me in. So I swing a security, it doesn't die, and then at this point I pretty much just concede and go to game 2. We then get into game 2 and I get to start off first, and what I'm quickly realising is that this is a really bad matchup for me because I can't really deal with the armour guys at all, so I kind of have to end up like choking them out essentially, which is not very good, but either way, hopefully the result for this game is a bit better. So I'm able to go into the Garudamon again, which is a pretty big blocker. I don't think my opponent can really deal with it unless they go into like a Flame Dramon. The Lion Dramon obviously doesn't suspend it, and yeah, I feel good about this blocker right about now. They go into Lion Dramon for 2. Obviously doesn't get to suspend anything, and then Megadeths to return it back to the hand, which is very unfortunate because I don't really want that to happen, quite frankly. I go into the BO3 and then play a Yole. I didn't really like Yole in my testing, but it is what it is. And then I do the Akiho, and then I see a hero there, and I'm just disappointed because I'm like, I want to see that hero in my on my field essentially, because I need to have free memory on my turn, I feel. Either way, my opponent swings to security, nothing major there, and at this point, the games are sped up, so it doesn't feel like it, I don't think, but essentially we're getting close to time on the round, so it could be ended up being a draw or a sweep. We don't know at this point, but we're just trying to play it out. I just go into the Garudamon again because I kind of need to apply like a defense here. Goes into the Agu, insecurity even, and then they go into Magna X to pass the turn. So not exactly great, but it is what it is. I'm considering going into the Marsmon here. Should be on free because of the Yole. So I go into, I believe, the Marsmon here for 4. I swing, and I swing into the Magna X, which allows me to unsuspend and gain 2 memory, continue my turn. And now I'm just building up my my Digi-Egg sources just to make sure that I have continue the pressure essentially on the following turn. And at this point I'm in a bit of a hard place because I can't really remove the guys. Like, the idea of raid is that you're supposed to remove these guys essentially, but you can't because they're all protected under armor, so it's not great to say the least. But what I do realize is that I don't have anything in raising, so I feel a little bit more secure. I decide to swing into the Flame Dramon here, and then I just end up going into Magma Bomb just to make sure that they can't do anything. Hopefully anyways. There is no Davis and Ken dual tamer, so it should be good. They swing into security, hits a Bearmon, so the unsuspended Vmon stays in the field, goes into Fire Rocket, swings 2 times, and then does Crimson Flare, which allows me to delete a guy and then use an on deletion effect. So I delete the Vmon, and I'm pretty sure I'm trying to Google because this is my first time actually playing the deck. about stuff. And I just end up playing the Tamer here because it says like activate on deletion. I have Garuda in there, so I just feel like that worked. If it is wrong, just let me know in the comment section down below. They swing a security again with the Grab Leo because it has 2 security. Goes into the Flame Dramon and then goes into the Awakening the Golden Lords. And so I swing at security into it, but this is a misplay. I know this is a misplay. This is my first time even using Raid, but essentially for Raid you're supposed to be unsuspended. A pretty big thing to forget, quite frankly. My apologies, but yeah, sorry, like, no one knows Raid. People only start learning Raid when the new Gallantmon comes out, so apologies. I think I made that mistake quite a few times this tournament until I get catchy on like the second round, I think. It's very annoying, but end up building a stack here. Would I have been able to deal with it? Probably would have. Actually, I don't think I would have been able to deal with it, so I think it did end up changing the game, which is very unfortunate. Again, we both didn't realise, so yeah, not great at all, but just important to note. Anyways, at this point, my opponent can't really play things, so they just pass, because if they play something I can raid and then gain more memory, essentially. So I go into the BO in raising, and they've got a lot of security to go through, essentially. So, you know, feeling very confident at this point anyways. I go into the Birdramon here to give it 2 security, and then also give it rush. I swing at security with 2 checks. They're both obviously the Magna Rexes. And then I also get to activate the Phoenixmon effect, I believe. Doing the math, and I end up playing a Birdramon which has blocker, just to make sure that my opponent doesn't have like a hybrid or anything like that. I swing at security again with the Vmon, swing with the Birdramon, and I go into the Grapplio to pass the turn. They go into the Vmon, and at this point I don't think they can really do that much. Again, misplay from my behalf, because I don't think this game would be continuing if that was the case, but we both didn't realise, so it's a bit unfortunate. They go into Ice Wall. I gain memory, I go to BO. I swing at security, use the Phoenixmon to play the Birdramon, give the Birdramon, swing 2 times with the Marsmon, and then swing for game.